farming and forestry fans, welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims and another episode on the magical Paradise Hills map. Now, as I had mentioned in a previous episode, I talked about the fact that I wanted to do something a little bit different. It was kind of what I had been moving some money into or cheating some money into the account so that I could pick up some of this extra equipment and show you some of the opportunities that you have available to you in and around forestry. Now, of course, you can always just do the route of picking up a chainsaw, and cutting trees down. That's all fine and good. That's fun to do. I've used a chainsaw in real life many, many times, and I've certainly run a chainsaw on this map for quite a bit of time, or in Farming Sim 15 for quite a bit of time. The map, though, gives you a couple of pieces of forestry equipment. We'll spin around. You get the cutter over there. That's the Scorpion. And you also get the Ponzi Buffalo. Now, I sold the Buffalo just because I don't like using the crane to load up logs. I'd much rather use a front end loader. And so as you can kind of see over the last couple of weeks that I've been playing Paradise Hills, I've cut down quite a few trees in this area. This was all heavily wooded, as you kind of see behind the area there. And I just to keep the sawmill down here running, I've actually cut quite a bit of trees. Some of the tools that are available to you through the wonderful world of mods, if you're a PC gamer on FS15, then these are available to you. The first one that I'm going to kind of talk about is this is the John Deere 748H. And like with all my other mods, if you go to grizzlybearsims.com, you'll find a spreadsheet there. It's in the menu at the upper portion of the website there. And this mod is listed in that as well. And one of the things about picking up logs after they've been cut is, especially with a wheel loader like we're going to be using here in a few minutes, is the fact that if they're just everywhere, if they're just thrown out everywhere, it's kind of hard to get multiple pieces of the tree scooped up in the front end loader to be able to load either into a trailer or into a chipper. And so I'm going to be basically demonstrating a couple of different things for this episode. The first one obviously is this John Deere 748H. We'll just do a cab view here. Not really much to see. There is some IC here that to be honest, I have not really. Oh, we can put chains on our tires. That looks pretty cool. I'm not sure what this. Oh, that just removes the steel grate around the door. I think we'll keep that. That opens the door. So yeah, so pretty cool stuff. I think we'll leave the chains on it. That kind of looks realistic. That gives us a little bit more traction as we are trying to mess about down here in the woods. Now, obviously, as you see on the back of this John Deere, it's got the crane. Not really used that much here on my farm. What I've been doing with this is just basically pushing logs into piles to try to get them a little bit easier to pick up with the wheel loader. So let's just demonstrate this really quick for you. We'll give you an overhead view here. So you can just basically come up and push your logs into as straight of a little pile there as possible, and then we can move around. Come around from this angle, sort of get in the middle of the logs and give them a nice big push, and that will make them much easier to pick up with the wheel loader. And we'll even position this guy here a little bit as a brake. We'll see how that works. This may keep the logs from moving around as we're driving our wheel loader. So a couple of different things. Let me just, I'm going to turn him off, and let me just jump out of the cab here, and we'll walk over to a couple of different things. So in addition to the John Deere skid steer, or whatever you want to kind of call that device. This is the Brookson wood chipper. Now, I use this on my maps. Here on Paradise Hills, it's actually been used more as a stump grinder than as a chipper, but I've also, because I was trying to get as much wood chips for compost as possible, I will admit I downed quite a few trees and used this to create wood chips. So I will demonstrate this first, and we'll just sort of get it out of the way. And it's been around for quite a while. So we will make sure that our tool selection is correct, and it is. We will put our pipe out. We will turn on the weight. It's sort of shown as a weight here, um, and our the um, the pipe will automatically track over to the tipper trailer. And basically, what you can do with this, and we will lower it. And I just want to really pull in just one log here. I don't want to do that whole pile. You just basically come up and just kind of touch it, and it will suck it right up in there, and it will shred it up, chew it up, chop it up, whatever, and make you some good wood chips. Now, again, this also does double duty. This particular version does. There's a couple of different versions of the Brookson that's out there, but this one will do double duty as a stump grinder. So that's kind of helpful if you are watching your budget and you want to also bring in stump grinding capabilities. Here's a stump, and it will chew that up. Now, unfortunately, you don't get credit for those wood chips that are produced as a result of the stump grinding process. That's a little bit well, maybe it's unfair, but it's also probably quite realistic as well, just because of the fact that, and we'll just do another stump here really quick so you can see. And it'll grind it down just as well as the in-game stump grinder does. So that is the Brookson wood chipper, and if I wanted to chip all of these logs up, I could certainly do that, and it would only take just a few seconds to do that, and it would be a lot of fun stuff. But we're going to move on to our other wood chippers that I wanted to show you today. So what we will do is we're just going to swing our trailer around and come under this guy here, and we'll set our parking brake, and we'll jump over into this tractor, fire him up, and turn on the wood crusher, fold up the support feet. Let's see, were they already up? Yep, they were already out. Now we're not going to do anything with the crane, because the crane, quite honestly, I like to keep my stream G rated, but quite honestly, if I had to operate the crane, I'd probably have to have a serious adult beverage afterwards, or maybe even during, to be able to do that. So the wood crusher is on, the pipe is out, and we're good to go there. So we will jump out of our New Holland, and we will oops, sorry about that. I keep accidentally hitting the wrong key. I'm wanting to hit shift so I can run, and we will run over to our JCB. And just before we fire up the JCB, I'll just show you the Brookson. You'll find it under forestry equipment, and it is the Brookson Plus. I'm not sure why it's listed twice, but it's at 55,000. It requires 215 horsepower. The rent price is 770 an hour. So even if you're just renting this, you can recoup your money pretty quick on this particular wood chipper. And then I'll just show you very quickly that here is the John Deere 748H. It's at 231,000. You can also rent it at $770 an hour. The wood chipper that we're going to demonstrate next, this is the Gens back version 1.0. It's at $96,500. It can also be rented at $321 an hour. It does require 135 horsepower to run it. And then the last one that we will demonstrate is the Beast. It's called the Beast for many reasons, I think. One is obviously the price tag, $768,000. That's pretty whopping there. But you can also rent it for $2,500 an hour, and it is just going to be a massive tool in chopping up trees to make wood chips. But let's get back to our demonstration here. So we are in our wheel loader. And by the way, the wheel loader, I am running the, the, the log grab there. I'll just show you this right quick. This is in mods, and it is by CSZ Equipment, and they make a whole host of different implements for your tools, your tractors and such. They've got the manure forks, they've got the log grabbers, they've got the bell handlers. Not sure how that works, the bell fork grabber, but anyway, all cool stuff. And yeah, so let's undo our parking brake, which I almost always forget to do. I'm bad like that. And we will come over, we will lift our, now I'm just gonna say this right up front, I'm not very good at this. Actually not very good at this at all, but we'll just see what happens, okay? So I need to move my joystick over. I will tell you that it's a lot easier, forestry is a lot easier once you have some of the right tools. And certainly using a joystick to grab these logs is so much easier. There we go. That's one heavy tree. We'll just spin around here and take this over. And of course we could carry this over and sell this outright if we wanted to. We've got a sell point just over here, or we could also deliver this way to our sawmills. But we also want to chip this, and I've actually never tried two at a time. Hang on, I'm having a technical difficulty here. Please stand by. Turn on the wood crusher. I did not turn on the wood crusher before. Sorry, keep hitting the wrong button. I want the shift key. Sorry, I don't have my wheel loader in a group yet, so I didn't want to tab through every piece of equipment that I own. Alright, so what I have found is that if you are gentle with it, this wood chipper works pretty well. And you can't just, unfortunately, you can't just bring your logs up here and dump them in. You kind of have to open your log clamp and kind of let the machine pull them off of the wheel loader, because otherwise they will have a tendency to fly to other portions of the map, and that's kind of cool to see once or maybe twice, but after that it becomes a bit old. So that's how that particular piece of equipment works, and we will come over here and we'll grab this one last log. Or I think it's one last log. It may be more. All right. So again, we'll bring this guy around. Bring him up here to the machine, like that. Gently drop him down, and then we will open up our bell or our fork there, and it'll take it right on in. Pretty neat. And again, this obviously is much more affordable than the next piece of kit that I'm going to show you next. So let's go ahead and we'll just drive our wheel loader over a little closer to this machine, and I will show you the beast. The beast. We will set our parking brake, and we will get out, because one thing that we need to do is we need to move. Be very careful not to get sucked into that. That would not be a pleasant experience. We'll get in this, we'll shut him off, and pull in our pipe, and pull up our feet, and we're kind of done. And then let's jump into our fent here. And we're just going to move this out of the way. Actually, we need to move it over here to okay, so let me demonstrate the beast for you. The beast is awesome, and if you can afford it, rent it, buy it, whatever you want this on your farm, especially if you're going to do a lot of wood chipping. So we come up to the back of it here. We've got a couple of panels that we can open up. There's really nothing to do in this larger panel, but what we want is this little thing here. So we open with 0, open the keypad panel, and then we have some controls in here. First of all, we need to start the engine. So we start this beast up. Now it does require fuel, so I had already fueled the beast up before I brought it down here, and we'll go ahead and do pipe out, and we will fold out our support feet and kind of step back and watch this thing go here. And so it lifts it up, and all is good. Now the beast has a storage capacity of, I believe, about 10,000 liters. So it will certainly store wood chips until you can bring a tipper around or something to sort of unload them. And I'm having trouble keeping up with my mouse and my joystick here, but bear with me. So we will go ahead and lower. See, that works out great, having that. Okay. Back up. We have to be careful that we don't drive through that cell point there. And hopefully I didn't make a mistake and cut these timbers too long. I may have. Can you say oops? And there we go. So obviously, you'd want to actually cut these a little bit shorter than what I did, but it does work. So let's go around and pick up these others. And we'll do that again. It's quite the load of logs, isn't it? Of course, you wouldn't drive with them quite that high, but and we would probably also do a little bit better job of positioning the beast so that we don't have to drive over this really big high burn, but it's okay. There you go, a little clipping through the thing there. And then let's go back for this last. For this last load. And I did tell you I'm not very good at this, so have the John Deere connected there. Sorry about that. Because it's just a little bit of a pain in the backside when the camera changes. I mean, it's kind of helpful when it changes direction when you're backing up, but also it would be cool if you could basically say, I don't want to use the better keyboard driving look feature on this particular piece of equipment. So it helps to get it over the thing, so we dumped that log. But I think you get the idea. I think you get the idea, and I really didn't want to spend a whole lot of time doing this. I wasn't going to devote the entire episode to forestry. I wanted to just show enough of it so you guys can see that you have some choices out there that are relatively easy to work with, pending you have that you're a little bit more friendly with running a joystick or a mouse or whatever. So we'll go ahead and turn off the wood crusher, and we will fold up the support feet, and we will do the pipe end, and we will stop the engine, and we will close the little thing there, and so we are done. So that's the beast. That's basically the 3 items or so that I wanted to show you as far as wood chipping and stuff that I think will help you with your forestry endeavors should you need the assistance. The Brookson obviously is the cheapest and the easiest. Just kind of drive around and let it chew up your timber. And of course, while I don't know if front tractor mounted wood chippers really exist in the real world, but obviously we do know that there are some pretty massive wood chippers, like on the back of some of these trucks that drive around that trim trees and stuff like that, that can take pretty good size logs and pretty much just devour them, pummel them into wood chips. So it's not it's not, it's only maybe cheating a little bit. It's not like massively cheating. You're still trying to, you still have to do the work yourself. And that is still great fun. So thank you for watching. Again, this episode, I just wanted to kind of showcase these items. Maybe it gives you some ideas what you might want to use in your farming forestry operation. Until next time, thanks for checking in, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And come back again soon to the Grizzly Bear Sims channel. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.